All right, this is how to never run out of things to say while on a date, whether that's the first date, maybe this is you just talking to someone for the first time. How do you believe in yourself that you can talk with anybody and carry a conversation and not get sidetracked, not get anxious, not get awkward? And the biggest thing that's worked for me is honestly doing the most myself in my life outside of the conversation, becoming the most interesting version of myself I can be. And it might sound like I'm talking about myself the whole time I'm speaking with someone for the first time, or on a first or second date, or just making new friends. It's not exactly that. We have to be aware of, overemphasis on ourselves. We need to be listening more than we speak. That's something that I've been practicing lately. But being a very interesting person means you have a lot of interests, you have a lot of hobbies, you have a lot of ideas. And you can bring those ideas while also focusing on the other person, whether that's a new friend, someone that you're going on dates with, showing interest in them through the interest you have in yourself and your own hobbies. So lately, I've been sharing the fact that I'm going on a trip to Portugal. I've been sharing the fact that I've been practicing Portuguese. I always share that I love to dance. I like to talk about the different kinds of music I'm into, whether that's jazz, Latin, heavy metal, talk about that I've been practicing the guitar for, a couple, maybe 3 months now, and that I've been a drummer for my whole life. But how do you mention your interests or the things about you without ignoring the other person? How do you show interest in the other person and get them to be interested? Well, you use your own interests in yourself that you could probably talk about for days, and you flip it. You ask the other person, do you like to dance? Oh no, why not? You shy? Oh, I was shy too, right? I never had danced until 3 years ago when my Latin friends taught me about dancing, and I really started to love the culture because I saw the difference from when I grew up, culturally, that dancing was like for special occasions only, and it wasn't practiced outside of those once a year things, right? You ask somebody something based off you're interested in, and then you bring it back to your story, right? It shows that you think. It shows that you're curious about the other person, but you're also, you got some stuff going on yourself. And as a guy, it's very important when you want to, make new friends, make other male friends, female friends, whatever it is, and for dating, right? People want to know that you're doing things, that you're an interesting guy, obviously. Another example of this is not trying to just only be friendly, right? If someone doesn't like to dance, they don't like music that much, get curious. Ask them, okay, so you're not interested in dancing, then what really, enlivens you? What makes you really excited? If you could do one thing this week, what would be the most exciting thing you could do? Get into their world, into their head, right? If someone doesn't get me and they're not into the things I'm into, and you want to keep talking to them, and you want to maybe build a friendship, get to know them better, then get curious about them. Like, you don't have to pander to them and say, oh, okay, end the conversation. No, like, ask them, probe them, get into the deep bits of them. What is it that if I'm fascinated about music, then what are they equally fascinated about? And I'm not someone that likes small talk, but I don't think that these questions, getting to know someone's interests, what gets them excited, what gets them, waking up excited for the day, what they smile when they think about, when they do, that's not small talk. That's everything. That's huge. And you don't have to have, little conversations about the weather, about what you had last night to eat. You don't have to talk about any of that. You can talk about the interesting things that we all wish we could spend more time talking about. It doesn't have to be about work. It doesn't have to be about the weather. It doesn't have to be about, taxes. I probably wouldn't talk about taxes unless I was talking to some business people, that are interested in that stuff. So if you never want to run out of things to say, number one, have things going on in your life. Find new hobbies. You could literally just practice. You could have just started 3 new hobbies like volleyball, playing the guitar, and going out for runs. And you could talk about that stuff for days. Even if you have a month of experience only in those 3 things, you could have hours of conversations and relate it back to the person you're talking to and their experience with that, maybe those actual things or something similar that's going on in their life. So I hope this video inspires you to start having more conversations with strangers, with people that you want to become friends with, to get out of the comfortable conversation starters and really elevate your game and be able to talk to people for hours and days. And yes, there are people that cannot carry conversation. There are people that don't have much going on in their lives. And all we can do is try to bring the most out of them ourselves. But, not everybody is willing to tango with you.